Alright, you see that white stuff that's on there? That's a mixture of grit from the sandpaper, but it's mostly resin from the piece. That's good. You use that kind of like a buffing compound when you're sanding. When it starts to get dry, I keep a little, this is a bigger one, but I normally keep a little one right next, and I keep it doused as I'm going along, which is kind of hard to show you because I'm holding my phone with my hand. But as it starts to dry, I'll just spray it with a little more water. Keep this nice and cool. You're using the water to keep it cool, because once it gets hot, it actually melts down into the resin, and it's hard to get those scratches out. So what I try to do is, you saw how that white was building up. That's the, you see that stuff on the pad right there? That's kind of the compound that you're using for each grit. And I just push it back and forth and squish it down and push it back and forth. And then once I get to this point where I've decided that I've sanded it with one grit enough, I'm going to take this this same grit. This is a 220 right here. That same grit that I was holding like this and putting lines in, those lines, you know, like that. Now I'm going to take this and go back and forth and rotate it. Go back and forth. Just a little bit to knock those lines down. And then if you get in real close, now you can see some of those lines going from left to right. Okay? So when you go up to the next grit, which I'm at 220 right now, I need to go to 320. Let me find the one with my, that's my number 3 on here. When I go to 320, first you want to make sure that there isn't any more of that paste that you made on the piece. You want to get all that off, so you rinse it really well, because you don't want 220 grit on your 300 grit sandpaper. So make sure both of them are nice and clean. It started to get dry. Now the question is, did I cut through it enough? And so you're going to get in close and see if there's any more of those scratches running from left to right from the 200 grit. It's hard to see on the phone, but I can still see them. They're still there, so I haven't done the 300 enough. And it takes some time. But you do that from, like I said, I normally start at a 120, which is kind of aggressive. I've actually been considering just starting at 220 or even 300, because those, it takes a lot of time to get those 120, you know, 180, sometimes even the 220 grits out. It takes a lot of time to get those grooves out. So spend more time with your lower grit sandpaper. Make sure you get them out before you move up. And I think that'll help with your scratches. Let me know if you need anything else, bud.